Hey, beautiful souls. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're a first timer, welcome. I'm here to do lesson 76 of A Course in Miracles. The lesson is titled, I Am Under No Laws But God's. This is one of my favorite lessons out of the 365 lessons. This one is a default setting in my brain, especially when I'm dealing with real life situations. Things that are not in my control, but just kind of feel like life is happening, to me. And it could be, that unexpected bill, or you like taxes. You didn't expect to be paying as much as you had projected, and the tax bill comes and you're like, ugh. And or health, if I'm getting sick, or I find out somebody else is sick and my kid or even myself were exposed, and I'm planning a trip, and then I go, old me would have like immediately been dealing with the fear that comes up. Why didn't I know that person was sick, and why did I expose myself, and now it's potentially going to ruin my vacation? I mean, really ridiculous, but it's that fear. And it, like, again, it could be like so kind of buried, but that little bit of like, oh, I did not have to see that person, or why did I not give a little bit of space? I should be protecting myself more. I've got this big trip planned. I've spent all this money preparing for this. Like, all of these things equate to putting this guilt on myself. And all, with either, being exposed to health, or overspending, or why didn't I, read the fine print, and maybe I thought I was getting a deal, but it turns out I wasn't getting a good deal on that purchase. I mean, these are all things, that come up. And then my default is, I'm under no laws but God's. When we go through this lesson, hopefully you'll understand it'll click as to why we do not ever have to go there ever again. As unless you are causing the pain, unless you are kind of really, when I mean causing, it means like when you are misaligned in doing something, meaning you kind of created this problem, or like did like a self-sabotage. But even so, even when you do kind of self-sabotage, and you kind of knowingly do things out of alignment, but you have an impulse control problem, or you did it anyways. You knew it was wrong, but you did it anyways. Even the realization that I shouldn't have done that, and I want to kind of reel it back, and I'm going to do my best to not make that choice again. Well, God's law is, you are forgiven. You're forgiven before the act, during the act, and after the act. You are forgiven. But the way God's laws can be applied is when you realize, when you become aware that was out of balance. I want to make an effort to not do that again. God, give me the guidance. Boom. Immediately you're under God's laws. And God's laws are basically this: we will assist in undoing the mess that you may have gotten yourself into, just so long as you stay connected to us, to us, we will show you how we can undo this mess. If your intention from here is, I want to heal this. If it is a self-sabotage, now if there are things that are kind of just happening purely out of bad luck, and you're just like, why is this happening to me? I did not do this. This is something that was completely not within my control. I don't know why. What did I do to deserve this? And that is that guilt and shame, feeling this like a victim. You feel like you're a victim in this specific circumstance. How did I deserve this? I know I must be paying back some karma. I mean, I still kind of go through that in my mind. I'm like, oh, what karmic lesson am I learning here and paying back, even from maybe past lives or whatever, if you believe in that. And then you go, no. Things happen because life does happen. But if I understands God, if I truly understand God's laws, that is, it will get worked out. It will be healed. Even the stuff that is not in your control, a solution will come, because that's God's law. God's law is everything will work out for you, even if you don't know the solutions, even if you don't feel it right in the moment. So I'm giving you a little like synopsis of this lesson, but let's dive into the lesson, and then we can go over this again. But I think I wanted to get you a little bit more like mentally ready to receive this, so you can understand how this can be applied as we're going through the lesson. So now I went a little backwards. Okay, I am under no laws but God's. We have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. Each has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. You are not bound by them. Yet to understand that this is so, you must first realize salvation lies not there. While you would seek for it in things that have no meaning, you bind yourself to laws that make no sense. Thus do you seek to prove salvation is where it is not. Today we will be glad you cannot prove it. For if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it is not, and never find it. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Look for where it waits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Another example of God's law is like health and nutrition, okay? We all believe the law of how our body works is feed it right, exercise like crazy, go green, go vegan, go vegetarian, go keto, go gluten-free, go whatever. And you're saved. All that, those are the laws of nutrition and health, right? But actually that is not the case. Because if you still carry that guilt and shame, you're not going to reach your goals in the body. God's law is you are of light, you're already perfect, and when you connect to that law, you will no longer find your salvation or health laws all that relevant. However, when you start connecting and start dissolving the guilt and shame that's kind of pushing you to go heavy on the workouts, go crazy on the nutrition, right? If you start to connect to the light, what will then happen is you're not going to put your salvation into health laws. You are going to rely on God's laws. But then what's going to end up happening is you're going to organically and naturally start to feel more connected with possibly eating a little bit healthier, less processed foods, You're going to naturally want to move your body, but it may not be in the form of like a rigorous body killing workout. It might be more gentle exercises, or it could be I may decide to start running because that's what I'm being called to. And that feels like it's coming more from spirit than from the ego of I need to look good. I want to start eating healthy because I'm feeling like I'm looking in the mirror and I'm feeling like shit and I'm looking like shit. That's all ego. But if you start to adhere to God's laws, you are dissolving the ego, starting to feel really, really good, regardless of anything that you see in the mirror. You're going to just start feeling good from a soul level. And then from that point, you're going to naturally start to, and more gently start to fall into a nutritional schedule, a food schedule, and a workout schedule that's coming from an aligned God space than from an ego, I want to look good in a bathing suit space so I feel good and maybe people see me as looking good. When your soul starts making the changes, when your heart space starts making the changes, you're going to start to look and feel good to yourself and everybody else without having lift a finger. But your body then is going to fall in line with that under God's laws to start to crave maybe some more salads or broccoli and still have a burger. But you're gonna feel just more balanced, and you're gonna feel more balanced in making the decisions that the decisions for your body and for your mind and all of that. But that's my takeaway of there are no laws but God's laws. Because when we put so much faith and trust from fear into things like, let's say, vaccines and racing to the doctor when something's wrong. And when you get these like health scares, you immediately go, oh my God, I have to go to the doctors. They're going to have all the answers and we're going to get the cure and we're done. Start falling back to God's laws, and that is everything is fine. I will still meet with the doctor, but I know that everything will get healed. Everything will fall into place because I'm going to go in calm and not feel guilty for getting sick, for wondering why the frick is this weird rash coming up, and not getting pissed off at the rash, not getting pissed off at my body. Again, that's that all stems from the guilt and the shame and the victim mentality. And none of that is of God, and none of that adheres to God's laws. Okay, let me continue. It's a really good lesson. I mean, it is for me, so I love that I'm relearning it, reabsorbing it. Today we will be glad you cannot prove it, for if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it is not, and never find it. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Look for it where it waits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. I'm sorry, I'm repeating this verse. New verse. Think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you have set up to save you. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs. You really think a small round pellet or some fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. You really think you are alone unless another body is with you. Wow, these are all the things that are not God's laws. It's crazy. It is insanity that thinks these things. You call them laws and put them under different names in a long catalog of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose. You think you must obey the laws of medicine, of economics, and of health. Protect the body and you will be saved. Now, this is not saying stop all medication, stop the annual wellness visits and physicals. It's not saying any of those things, but it's saying that when you truly know that you are under God's protection, you are not going to be making these decisions of what to do for your body or for your finances or for any issue that comes up. You're not going to be your decisions are not going to be made. You're not going to be attacking them and trying to solve them and heal them from an egoic standpoint. You are going to be coming from a loving, calm, centered God space, God's laws. These are not laws but madness. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. The body suffers just in order that the mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. The body's suffering is a mask the mind holds up to hide what really suffers. It would not understand it is its own enemy, that it attacks itself and wants to die. Oh, it is from this your laws would save the body. It is for this you think you are a body, which we are not. Beams of light, people, beams of light, walking around in this beautiful costume. There are no laws except the laws of God. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything you have made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. What is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. The laws of God can never be replaced. We will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. It is no longer a truth that we would hide. We realize instead it is a truth that keeps us free forever. Magic imprisons, but the laws of God make free. Yes! Booyah! The light has come because there are no laws but His. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review of the different kinds of laws we have believed we must obey. These would include, for example, the laws of nutrition, of immunization, of medication, and of the body's protection in innumerable ways. Think further, you believe in the laws of friendship, of good relationships, and reciprocity. Perhaps you even think that there are laws which set forth what is God's and what is yours. Many religions have been based on this. So true. They would not save but damn in heaven's name. Yet they are no more strange than other laws you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. There are no laws but God's. Dismiss all foolish magical beliefs today and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. You will be listening to one who says there is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes and nothing is replaced by something else. God's laws forever give and never take. What? They're always giving. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Hear him who tells you this. Realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world you thought you saw. Then listen further. He will tell you more about the love your Father has for you, about the endless joy he offers you, about his yearning for his only son, created as his channel for creation, denied to him by his belief in hell. Doesn't exist. Belief in hell. Get rid of it. Only the ego can create the hell on earth. No matter what, when you cross that rainbow bridge, you are going back to where you came from and who you are, which is the light. Let us today open God's channels to him and let his will extend through us to him. Thus is creation endlessly increased. His voice will speak of this to us as well as of the joys of heaven, which his laws keep limitless forever. We will repeat today's idea until we have listened and understood there are no laws but God's. Then we will tell ourselves as a dedication with which the practice period concludes, I am under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. We will repeat this dedication as often as possible today, at least 4 or 5 times an hour, as well as in response to any temptation to experience ourselves as subject to other laws throughout the day. It is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. It is our acknowledgement that God is our Father and that his Son is saved. I am under no laws but God's today. Go to your problems with God's laws in mind, saying, this will get resolved. I don't need to go in the direction of anger and frustration. I can go in the direction of peace and calm in knowing that under God's laws, everything will be taken care of. Everything. And it's not saying that sit and do nothing. It is saying give it some space and a minute. Give it a minute so that you can get calm and connect. And under God's laws, you will channel. You will hear his voice give you direction. Call this person. Do nothing. Some of that direction is do nothing and just let the dust settle. You will hear his voice. When you get sick and it's a doozy, you're like, this could be flu, this could be COVID. Know that healing is already underway, and most of us know that. We know we're going to be okay, when we get sick. But I know that I used to really put myself through the ringer mentally when I would get ill. I hated getting sick. And there was fear. There was fear. Oh my God, I didn't want to get my kids sick. Oh, they have tests. Oh, that's a big one, especially when they get sick and they're missing a lot of school. I'm under no laws but God's laws. Everything will be okay. They will still get into the college of their choice. Even if they miss the test, even if they got a bad grade, everything will work out. They will get into the schools they are meant to. They will be abundant. They will find their passion no matter what's happening right now. It even applies to parenting. We worry so much about our children, but there are no laws but God's laws. Everything is taken care of all the time. All the time. And some of the messes may be a little bit stickier. I mean, I went through some really messy financial stuff that I thought was unsolvable. And even some of my solutions to some we're like, that's the worst of the worst, but it's not. Everything did work out. I had to have a lot of faith, and then I had to act when I felt his voice say, do this, go left, go right, go up, go down, make the call, do nothing, just wait. Oh, this person calling, that's the call to take. Ask these questions. Go try this, making suggestions, but it wasn't suggestions, it was like, do this. And that's the inspired action. We're not in the emergency room. You have time to give it a minute and hear his voice. Even if you don't believe, he's talking. Somebody's talking in your ear, your intuition. It's all the same thing. You're under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. Lesson 76. I love this lesson. I love this lesson. And I hope you get something from it too. Have a blessed day. Mwah.